Good afternoon to one and all who have gathered to witness this event. We are delighted to be introducing two new courses this time, that is BA Linguistics Honors and BCA. But before we begin, let me quickly introduce to you the college. Tetso College was established in 1994 in Dimapur, and it has been offering courses in arts, commerce, and management. This year, we are opening two new courses, BA Linguistics and BCA. And we're having this short program mainly targeting the class 12 students because many of us are not really aware of the details of these two courses. Nagaland as a whole, these colleges over here, including our college so far, has been offering traditional courses like BA Pol Science Honors, English Honors, and History Honors. However, the world is moving really fast and we must keep pace with it. The agenda of this program is to introduce the usefulness of taking up courses like these BCA and linguistics, which are placement oriented and which can promise students that they would have a good source of employment, because we believe that education, the end game of education, is to make sure that the student is able to find a job after their studies and is able to support themselves. uh, with this aim in mind, we wanted to have this quick session to elaborate a little bit more on what these two new courses that are being offered in our college are all about, and to take up a few questions at the end as well. All right. So let me quickly also mention something, that when I was in class 12, class 11 and 12, I had actually in class 10, the story begins when I was in class 10. I scored 91 in maths, and back then we did not have these kind of sessions. So when I scored 91 in maths in class 10, everyone told me, okay, you know what, Anjan, you have to go for science. And I took up science in class 11 and 12, and that's when I realized that science was absolutely not my field of study. And later on, I shifted on to English. So 2 years of mine was spent in a kind of a daze where I was not able to choose the correct course. So I think it's very imperative that our students over here, especially those of us who have appeared the class 12 students, those class 12 exams, those students who have joined us today, to make sure that you're spending enough time to think and choose a course okay, rationally, because the course that you choose today is going to have a lasting effect on your life. Quickly, let me introduce myself. I'm Anjan Behera. I'm the Assistant Dean of the School of Humanities, Business and Economics. And today we have two key, key speakers joining us as well. The first of which is Miss Wendy L. She is an assistant professor in the Department of Linguistics at Tetso College. She is an alumni of the prestigious St. Edmund's College at Shillong and the University of Hyderabad. She is currently pursuing her PhD in linguistics from IIT Assam. Our second speaker is Dr. Bernali Berman. She's an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science. She's an alumni of the GC Institute of Management and Technology, Institute of Science and Technology, Assam, and Tejpur University. Her PhD thesis took a look at hyperspectral image analysis. Her research papers have been published in several of UGC Care List journals. So warm welcome to both of you, and thank you so much for being the key speakers for today's session. Now we'll keep this session light. We do not want it to be a kind of a session where someone just comes and speaks continuously, but it's kind of going to be in the form of a chat show. So at the same time, please remember, as the audience, please feel free to type in your questions in the chat box. At the end, we will be having a question and answer round. So at that time, you can ask questions directly as well. Please remember, the more interactive you make this session, the better it will be. So with this, let us quickly jump into the session, and let me ask Dr. Bernali, okay, why exactly did you choose to pursue a career in computer science? What were some of the key factors which made you choose this field of computer science? Dr. Bernali, you can take your time. I think your microphone is still on mute, Dr. Bernali.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to join such a webinar, which will help the students for deciding their future perspective, or how they will uh, choose their future as or the career they will invest in. I chose the computer science branch as we know that we are living in an age of digital area now, where all the things are now the industries, the schools, colleges, all rely on data and computer programs. And the computer science and information technology impacts everywhere, from the scientific research to the health sector, then transport, banking, communication, everywhere. Now, we have also now seen the things that the objects, something like microwaves, fridges, the door locks of the homes are now all are connected to Wi-Fi, sensors, or the personal assistant. I can give the example of some like Amazon has Alexa. Okay, now if we give some instruction that to Alexa that do this thing for me, then Alexa will automatically do the things on behalf of me. Suppose I ask them switch on the fan, then Alexa will automatically switch on the fan. Now the things are all connected to the sensors. Okay, so these are looks like some magic for every people, but for that, actually this is not a magic. This is about the technology which makes our world better, faster, and more connected. And we have to thank the IT professional minds who have choose their passion for technology and created this type of gadgets for our day-to-day life. These things motivated me so much, and I could so that I could also be a part of them. Therefore, I choose this as a my career. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's a good answer actually. Yes, technology has become very interesting, in fact, and over the past few years, especially last year, once the lockdown began, I think everyone has become so used to using IT and technology. My mother, for example, she caught on, started using Zoom and this Google Classroom for her classes. And I think it's really nice to see how much technology has come to occupy our lives. And I think that's why it's a good thing that she did choose this field of study. So BCA, right? BCA, this course. What can you tell us about this course? Like, what exactly do students, study in this course? And one question which I also have along with this is, is it very tough? Okay, technical, like, is it all about IT, and is it, how tough is this course actually? Okay, so two questions at once. One is how, what exactly are students going to study in BCA, and how tough, according to you, is this course? Your microphone is on mute, Bernali. That's the little red button at the end, the unmute button. Yes,
Can you
please
hear
go.
me now?
We can hear you. Yes, please go ahead.
Actually, the full form of BCA is the Bachelor in Computer Application. I will show you the slides. Uh, The full form of BCA is Bachelor in Computer Application. It is a professional course, and any students who have passed their 12 in any discipline can enroll in this program. It is a 3-year course which is divided into 6 semesters. Okay, and it is a professional course, and you can have you can it after completing this course, you will have the capability of solving the problems of like the IT profession, suppose developing the softwares, designing websites like that, or it also provides the foundation pillar for your further study, which could be master in computer application or master in computer science or information technology, which will give you more directions to your career. In your subject, you will learn these things, the programming languages, C, C++, C Sharp. These programming languages will be taught in practical, also in theory classes, and also it will have the practical sessions. This C Sharp, ASP.NET, all nowadays, all the things are being digitized, and all the universities, colleges, or any industry is having a website for themselves. And for C, C++, these are the programming languages which are used to develop the softwares. Suppose the apps you are using in computer or mobiles, they are all developed by this type of programming languages. So after completing this course, you will have an confidence that you can build this type of softwares or develop the web pages for any institution. You will also have the, as these things have data, means whenever in case of suppose an institution or an industry, the main thing is about data. Suppose for an college, there are several data are available there for the students. Suppose how many several courses are being taught in an institution, and each courses have different students. Suppose we want to suppose we want to get the information of a student who has enrolled in the BCA program for the first semester. If the data are not managed in a good way, then we will not be able to get that. Earlier it was done in case of pen and paper way, but now as the world is digitizing, all the things are managed in the computer itself. So this data handling is also an important part of our life. So these things will be also taught in our classes, and computer graphics, mobile computing, data communication, data networking, and so on. In addition to these core subjects of the IT courses, you will also be taught some basics of mathematics, electronics, and all. You also be taught about the communication skill, so that you could also the professional personality development courses are also there, so that in addition to your core knowledge in programming, you have to be an cope with the real world, how you manage, how you present your things to the world. This is also an important thing. So all these things will be taught in your classes. So I think it is a technical oriented program. So you will have to uh, get through all these courses, and but it is not a difficult one. The things get difficult whenever we accept the things to be difficult, and these things are not difficult. It is a fun thing. If you think that, yeah, I can, the software I have developed is used by these industries, or the website I have developed for a college, they are using my developed website, how interesting and how cool it will be. I think so.
Yeah, that's right, right? Using websites, I mean, creating these websites for companies, schools, colleges, everyone has websites now. So I think this kind of a course would open windows for for many different kind of jobs, which we will come to, later on. But I think what I can definitely see is that the course content sounds very interesting and fun. There's a lot of very job related content, relevant things that we get to study here, because programming languages like C, C++, Java, ASP, these are actually used everywhere around the world, right? So that's really great that all of these things would be taught, and it does sound very interesting, especially developing apps. I think that is something which definitely strikes a chord with me. I mean, how cool would it be if a student takes up this course, learns how to design his own app, and actually sells it on Google Play or something, and makes a name for them? So that's really great. Thank you so much, Dr. Bernali, for giving us all of these insights. We'll move on to Miss Wendy. Now, Miss Wendy is very enthusiastic about linguistics. Linguistics is her passion. So I'm going to ask Miss Wendy, okay, what exactly, according to you, makes linguistics an interesting course? Because this is something that you're very passionate about. What exactly is so interesting about linguistics as a field of study? So, Miss Wendy, you can take your time. Miss Wendy, can you hear me? Oh, all right, great. So you also have prepared some slides for the expected question. All right, yeah, please go ahead. So what exactly, according to you, makes linguistics an interesting field of study? Miss Wendy, I think your microphone is on mute. Yeah, you can just unmute over there. All right, great. We can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Structure. It language is what we use every day for communication, for interaction, for expressing our thoughts. So it is very interesting to study what we uh, I mean, provides better understanding of uh, other fellow human and anything else in a positive way, and it also helps us in developing and improving.
Miss Wendy, if you can hear me, your internet connectivity, I think, has dropped. So what we can try doing is, if you can switch off your camera, you can keep your
Okay,
switch off your camera, save some bandwidth, and we can go ahead. So let's try that.
hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
So it improves intellectual skills in uh, also facilitates computer-mediated communication in the sense that nowadays everything has become technology. Just now also we are using Zoom, and in order to English, so there will come a day when we will have our own language interface, for example, chunky interface or Rangma language interface. So that kind of facilitation towards facilitated by the study of linguistics, and it offers platform to preserve or document languages. And if we look into the picture of Nagaland in particular, Nagaland is listed as one of the states which has the highest number of languages, like 14 languages with 17 dialects, according to Census of India 2011. And I believe that there are much more than just I think if not us, then who will do this kind of work? So I think linguistics is very interesting in this way, as because it provides us a platform to culture is also lost. So yeah, these are some of the few interesting points that I could point out at this point of time.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Wendy. I think the network zoned out a little bit over there, but I think what you did mention was that it gives BA Linguistics is going to give us a plethora of experience, especially with regards to studying different languages in detail. You spoke about tribal languages, how we can study about tribal languages, develop scripts for them, interfaces for them. I think that's what makes BCA really interesting. So thank you so much for those insights. I'm going to ask the next question to another faculty member of the Department of Linguistics, Ms. Nike. Ms. Nike, are you here? Ms. Nike Besa? All right, joining us also is Ms. Nikki Besa. I'm going to quickly ask you about this BA Linguistics course that has been designed by NU, right? Our parent university. So, what exactly are students going to be studying in the BA Linguistics course, Ms. Nikki? And can you tell us a little bit about what this course will be covering? In brief. what exactly is this course going to be all about? BA Linguistics.
Okay. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, Ms. Nikhil.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In this course, we will learn about the core linguistics and the interdisciplinary linguistics. Core linguistics covers the speech sounds, formation of words, structure of sentences and meanings. And as the name suggested, interdisciplinary linguistics covers the interaction between linguistics with other disciplines. So linguistics it's a very different subject from English literature. So we will learn the different structures, and we will also learn how to study languages. Not in not a very specific language, but we will study all kinds of languages through linguistic study. I think in this course we will learn all those about it. Yeah.
Very
Hello.
interesting, right? Learning the
Yeah.
details of languages and going to the depths and actually understanding how language works, because we tend to take language for granted, but when we take a course like this, we understand the details that comes with speaking and understanding a language. All right, so now that we know what exactly these two courses are, I think I'm going to quickly ask to both of you, all the three panelists that we have over here, okay? I think when it comes to choosing a course, it's also very important to understand what are the qualifications that a student must have who wants to apply for this course, right? So can you tell us a little bit about that? Like what kind of students or what courses should a student have already studied, okay, before they can enroll for this BCA and BA Linguistics honors? You can take your time and speak a little bit about this.
Okay.
Qualifications, minimum qualifications, yeah.
Yes. Anyone who has completed HSSLC or class 12 and any stream are eligible to enroll in BA Linguistics.
The same is with the
For BCA.
BCA courses also.
Okay.
All the students who have completed their 12th class from any stream, they can enroll with the BCA program also.
Okay, that means that makes things very less complicated, right? I mean, because BCA sounds technical with maths and everything. Okay, linguistics also sounds a little scientific. So I was under the assumption that you might need to have a science background, but then it's great that even students from the art stream, commerce, management, any stream that have done their class 12 studies in can actually enroll for the course and take admission in this course. So that's really great to know. Another thing which I wanted to ask was about practicals, right? So one thing that's very interesting that we have come to know is that there are practicals for both of these courses, BA Linguistics as well as BCA. Okay, so BCA will start with BCA. Okay, practical sounds interesting. So what exactly are students going to be studying in the practicals for BCA?
Actually, I have already explained what will be the courses that will be taught under this stream.
Correct.
The same subjects, both of the subjects can have theory and practicals as well as the programming language like C, C++, C Sharp, ASP.NET. All this will have practical sessions. And as I have already mentioned that how data storing of data and using are so important in our day-to-day life. So the subjects are that related to the data are database management system, data structure. All these things will have as theory subjects, as theory classes as well as practical classes. We also have graphics, computer graphics. Along with all these computer-related laboratory classes, we will also have some electronic laboratory classes which will include some devices that we use in case of the hardware of the computers like that, or these are very common things that we have to know in whenever we are getting this course. And this is a very fun fact, developing such thing. Suppose in computer graphics, suppose we are we have designed a person and walking from one place to another place, that all things are done in computer graphics. So these things are very interesting. So I think that the practicals will be very interesting for the students, and they could relate with these subjects with their real life problems, and so it will be helpful for them.
All right, so the practicals actually sounds fun, right? Getting to practice what they're studying in theory and actually understand how these theoretical aspects come to life in the form of practicals. We'll move on to linguistics. Nikki and Wendy, you both can take your time and tell us a little bit in brief about what we'll be studying in the practicals for linguistics. Practical aspects of linguistics. Either Ms. Nikki or Ms. Wendy, you can take your time and tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, in linguistics, when we say practicals, basically it would one of the most common practicals that we have is data collection from the field. Like we will have to go to village or to some towns where we have to gather data. Maybe we may ask people to tell a story in their native language, or we will have our own data list which they will have to read it out, and we will be recording it using a standard voice recorder and as such. And for the technical part, we will be studying or dealing with the speech analysis using PROT and other software. And in PROT, we will, as mentioned, we will be looking into the spectrogram, the waveforms, and all those acoustic features and characteristics of speech sounds in languages. And then another thing is in computational linguistics, we will be learning about parsers, different kind of parsers, which will chunk or annotate or tag the parts of speech or like grammatical categories of a language in order to build a language system. Yes.
All right. So the good news is that everything sounds interesting. The bad news is that I'm tempted to join BA Linguistics. Your practical sounds fun, especially when you talk about going and collecting information data from the field. I think that's when your subject knowledge comes to life, right? You learn concepts in the classroom, but you actually go on trips, collect information, data, listen to how language varies from place to place as you travel and conduct your research. I think that's what makes this course really fun, because there's a lot of practical aspects to it. You learn as you speak, and then you actually get a first-hand understanding of how all of this theory works. So that's really interesting. That's really great. One thing that I've observed in our state, in Nagaland, and of course Northeast in general, is that students often make some mistakes in choosing their undergraduate level courses. Okay, often what happens is that students blindly choose their courses, and they don't really pay much attention into how they should be selecting a course, or what are the key factors that they should be keeping in mind while choosing a course. So according to both of you, what do you think are some of the key mistakes which students in Nagaland make while choosing a course for their undergrad level? Both of you can take your time, Miss Wendy, Miss Bernali, and speak a little bit about this.
Okay, so Anjan, I'll let me take your opportunity.
All right, please go ahead. Yeah.
I have prepared a slide for that. Share it. So
All
yeah.
right, great.
As we are also already had been through, so I have listed out some of my experiences and what I have seen with our friends as well. So first of all, the problem is there is lack of awareness. We do not know what is this course all about, and therefore we do not have any knowledge about the course, which puts us into dilemma. And then another thing is we tend to follow the crowd. We tend to take up traditional courses because that's what our elder brothers, elder sisters are taking. And then those courses are also already popular. That's why we thought that those courses would give us ample job opportunities. And then the third thing is that we tend to follow our friends. We want to sit together again in BA course, just like the way we sit together in class 12. So we tend to follow our friends, and we tend to take up the same course regardless of whether we actually are interested in that course or not. And then the fourth thing is we sometimes depend on the score, the mark score, the marks that we have scored in the previous exam. For example, if I have scored geography if I have scored 100% in geography in the previous year, then I simply tend to take up geography, regardless of whether I really like that subject, or I am really interested in that subject, or is there any job first without thinking. So we used to take up courses like that. And then the other problem that we face is sometimes our parents are also playing part. If they see someone taking up if they see the neighbor's son or daughter taking up certain subjects, then they also thought that that must be the best one. So we tend to listen to our parents too much, and we got influenced by them without listening to our hearts. These are some of the few things that I could tell at this point.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Okay, Dr. Bernali, if you wanted to add something, you can, or we can go on to the next question.
Yeah, I agree with Wendy that she has
Right.
told all the things are correct. Addition to that, I want to add one point that whenever we choose a subject, we choose that based on the present scenario. Okay, now suppose BA in political science, suppose. So it is providing massive jobs at present, but after some years it may not be producing as much jobs as it is producing at present. We have to look at the future. What is the future in future? Because whenever you will enroll this program this year, after 3 years you will be graduated with this course. Okay, after 3 years, what will be the thing in demand? We have to visualize that thing and then enroll for a course.
I think that's right. We have to really be careful in choosing the course and keep in mind the future prospects, because I think that is what is most important. Now, both of you are experts in your field. You have done ample work in your field as well. So I think it makes sense to ask you this question. Now, our class 12 students, those of us, our friends who are joining in today, there's always this fear of the unknown, right? And when it comes to computer sciences and linguistics, I think we don't have these kind of subjects in the higher secondary section. So switching to this kind of a course in the BA level, bachelor's level, how difficult is it going to be for the students? I'm asking especially because the exposure of the students, as I mentioned, to these fields is limited in their higher secondary course. So both of you can take your time and tell us a little bit about that. Yes, any one of you can answer this question.
Well, regarding it, we have got the syllabus from Nagaland University, which is really well framed for students who will be pursuing at BA level. So we truly believe that it's gonna be fun, and there is nothing to be feared of. And you may think that you need to know lots of languages other than your mother tongue or English, but that is not the case. If you know your mother tongue, then that is already more than enough, because that can actually take you to a higher level if you keep pursuing linguistics in higher education as well. And also, I would like to mention that me and my colleague Nikkei, we will be working very hard. We will lay our heads together in every aspect to create a good learning environment for our students. Our students will always be in the center, and we will always be available for them. And we always welcome their ideas and opinions. And also regarding the lessons, we will be working so hard to simplify the concepts as much as possible. And also, our college is well equipped with library and laboratory facilities, and I think students will really have lots of fun inside the classroom as well as outside. Yeah.
All right, that's great. I'm going to ask a question to Dr. Bernali now. BCA, I think on the poster of this event, we had mentioned that BCA is a high employability factor course, right? So students who take up BCA, what kind of jobs can they aim for in after their studies are done? If you could just give us a gist of the kind of jobs that students can go for after they complete their BCA course, or their studies in this field of computer science. You can take your time, Dr. Bernardi.
After completing the BCA, you can, hello, hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
please go. Yes, yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
After completing BCA, there are several directions you can go. There are several career prospects. Okay, I am showing you this figure where it is showing that from BCA, we can go to several directions. Okay, after completing BCA, we can be a software professional, or we can go to banking sector, or we can uh, go for UPSC or NPSC, or we can have faculty jobs in school or colleges, or we can have competitive exams. And also we can be an entrepreneur and set up our own company which deals with such software works. Okay, we can also move to the further study. If we don't want to go for the further study, after completing BCA, several designations are offered in uh, very software companies. Okay, I have displayed some of the designations that have been provided in the software companies. Suppose principal software engineer, software architect, computer scientist, like that. There are several posts. I have already some mentioned already some few designations, and I have also uh, shown you the expected average annual salary in India per annum. This is the average salary. Okay, but this will vary with person to person with their experience, because for a fresher the salary would be a little bit less compared to this I have shown. And whenever you would get a sufficient amount of experience, maybe you could get a much uh, better than this salary I have shown you, because this is the average thing that uh, people used to get whenever they are deputed to their this type of designations. Okay, there are several recruiters who used to recruit this type of IT professionals. Okay, the Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, all things are they used to recruit the computer professionals. Okay, there are several software companies in Nagaland also, which used to develop their softwares for different business business purposes, or official, or any school colleges, and they also used to maintain those datas and like that. So there are several opportunities after completing this course. We can see also the trend of NPSC from the year 2011 to 2019. From this table, we can see that uh, the number of candidates that have been appeared is very large, corresponding to the number of posts that are available. Suppose I am showing you the 2019 month. So in 2019, the number of candidates appeared for 45 number of posts is more than 10,000. So the same trend goes with the UPSC jobs also. Whenever in case of 2019 year, against 927 number of posts, almost 11 more than 11 lakh people applied for that jobs. So these jobs, there the number of posts are very less compared to the number of candidates applied for these jobs. So we have to uh, go for some private jobs also, so that after completing this type of professional courses, you could get a good salary. As I have shown you that the salary structure of that designations, and it is very good. Otherwise, you can also be an entrepreneur, and you can set up your own company and recruit others in your own state. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting to see this data about the NPSC and UPSC jobs. The number of posts obviously they're quite less. The number of applicants are quite high. So I think what you're trying to stress on, and I do agree with you on this, is that we cannot just rely on securing a government job. We also must take up courses and study courses where there is a good scope of getting a job later on, because that I always feel, as I mentioned, is the end point of education. Getting a good job after your studies are done, so that you secure your existence by yourself and you're independent and you stand on your own feet. So that's really great and interesting data that you have collected for us over there. Thank you so much. My next question is to Miss Wendy. Same question: what makes BA Linguistics a high employability factor course? And if you can tell us a little bit about what kind of jobs can students go for after they pursue this field of linguistics?
Yes, sir. And then, that question is very important. So I have prepared a slide for that. Linguistics provides ample job opportunities, and one of the most common ones is in educational institutions. You can become a professor, or where you will teach basically linguistics, and then you can also become language trainer, and then you can become a translator in foreign embassies. And like in tourism industry, as we all know, Nagaland itself has seen a blooming in tourism industry. There is high employability, or like they can run their own, where linguists can, or anyone can run their own agency. And also in marketing field, you can be an interpreter or like a translator. And then in the field of hospitals, schools, and rehabilitation centers, you can become a speech or language therapist. And then a lexicologist in publishing house, where you will make basically compile dictionaries. And then you can become either like book editor or proofreader in publishing house. And then a project research assistant in certain research and survey firms. And then in IT firms also, linguists are hired for language analyst or consultant. You may think that why, like, how can this be from the linguistic point of view? Because when we see Google, Apple, Microsoft, and all, we always have in mind about engineers. But if we recall what we had mentioned earlier, the interface, or like the technology that we are using, we actually also dream about having the interface in our own language, language. So if we are linguists, then we can help and aid these companies who are language analyst or language consultant. Yeah. And then I have here I mentioned the approximate pay in India. However, this pay may differ from some terms and conditions, and depending on the person's specialization or as such. And if we look into Nagaland, we might think that there is no job as such. But however, as we already mentioned, Nagaland itself is a home to many languages which are unexplored and under-resourced and are less studied. So researchers from all over the world have started to come and do their own research. So for those firms and research companies, they look for researcher to work in their projects. And then recently, I have come to know that Nagaland government will be implementing a rule where language trainer, basically the mother tongue teachers, need to have linguistics background in schools. So there will be a chance to become a language trainer in schools. And also As we already know, Nagaland University has just opened up linguistics at BA level. Definitely, there will be lots of other colleges introducing the course not only in TEPSO. So there will be a high chance to get employed in colleges as a professor, and also in tourism industry, a linguist can become a translator.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Wendy. I think it's nice to know that linguistics also has so many career opportunities. Somehow we are always made to think that linguistics means only translation and more translation. But I think it's great to know that a linguist can contribute even in hospitals and actually help make life better. So thank you so much for giving us all of those details. I think in the interest of time, I'll just ask one last question to both of you, Miss Wendy and Dr. Bernali. Uh, there are several institutions which offer BA linguistics and BCA all over India, right? So, what, according to you, are some of the key factors that students need to keep in mind while choosing an institution to pursue these two courses, BA linguistics and BCA? What factors should they keep in mind when they choose which college they should study in for these two courses? You can take your time. We can take turns.
Well, I will go first.
All right.
Well, in order to choose institutions where to pursue BA in any discipline, um, we should think about whether the institute is UGC recognized. I mean, in the case of India, UGC recognized or not, and do they have valid NEC grades? And then also, which university does that institute is affiliated to, and then the performance of the college in the previous years academically, and also the co-curricular activities. And then we should also keep in mind the quality or like the background of the teachers and the lab facilities and the library as well. And also a good institution is always known by their placement cell information, which gives lots of information whether they are still engaged with their students in the long run or not. So that is what makes a good institute. Yeah, I'll give it over to Dr. Bonnie.
Dr. Berman, your microphone is on mute. Yeah. Yes, please go ahead.
I totally agree with Wendy. The points that she have mentioned is the things that we should always keep in mind while selecting college. And I can say that our college means fulfills all the requirements that she has already mentioned while choosing this course. And you can see that we have a very active placement cell which they used to place their previous students to their various offices or various industries. And they are very active and they try to put their students engaged to or get a job, because after, if you do not get a job after completing your professional course, it will be an injustice to the course and also to the student itself. Therefore you have to the college you choose have to be a very good placement cell, because they will provide you the jobs before leaving the campus, and it is very important thing, because after completing it you have to be financially stable. And in our college the teachers give priority to the students to make them learn the things very clear, and try to develop their own ability, because every students have their own ability and they should uh, modify, means they should overcome their the things that they cannot do this, the things that it is depends on our teacher, whether the confidence you have to build the things we used to do with the students. So I can say that you can prefer our college for these courses, and you will not be regretting after enrolling in our college.
All right.
That's all.
Thank you. So, yeah, thank you so much. I think placements are very important, especially for professional courses like these, because these are job-oriented courses. So, as you mentioned, yes, placement cells are very important. And just to add to what both of you have said, because I'm also in charge of the library, that is something that I do on the side. Our college has a very exhaustive library with more than 35,000 books, both in soft copy and hard copy formats, which students can also access for preparing for their classes. So we have a lot of e-resources as well, in addition to what both of them have said. So thank you so much, Miss Wendy and Dr. Bernali, for taking us through the course and letting us know what the course is all about, and importantly, telling us about the various jobs that students can actually go for once they pursue these fields. So I think that's all the questions that I had from my side. I'm opening up the ground now for our audience. If our audience has any question, you can either unmute yourself and ask the question directly, or you can type in your questions in the chat box and we'll take up your questions. So we'll just uh, yeah, audience, if members, if there's any questions, or if you would like to add something, you can also do that. If anyone wants to add anything, you can also do that. All right, while we wait for any possible questions to come in, what is being shown on the screen is the link to our admission page. If you find that this course is something interesting and you are thinking of choosing Tetsu College, please do head to this link. You will get all the information about the course as well as the brochure, and you can go through it as you decide. You can also email us. The email IDs of both departments, linguistics and computer science, are on your screen right now.
Yeah, excuse me, Chairperson, if we have time, then can I come in quickly?
Absolutely. Please take your time. Dr. Vijay.
Thank you
Yeah.
for the time. Yes, congratulations to the TED Show for opening these two courses. Yes, my question goes to Wendy for linguistics. Wendy, I congratulate you. Now, I would like to know, the course is a full-time course that you have opened. BA is a vocational or a full-time? That's my first query.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the question. It is a full time, so it is gonna be an honors course.
Okay. All right. So as of now, the students can opt for the BA Linguistics honors in Tetso College. That's what I can, if I'm not mistaken, that's I can understand.
Exactly, sir. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's my first query. And if time permits me, I will get back after.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, just to add, yeah, it is a full-time course. It's spreading over 6 semesters. It'll take 3 years for the students to complete the course. So thank you so much for your question, Sir Bijen. Is there any other, if we have any other questions, or if anyone wants to add anything, you can also take up this time. All right, so if there are no questions, okay, we do have a question. The syllabus for linguistics, how was it framed out? Was it done by NU? Miss Wendy, you can take up this question. The syllabus, who has framed this whole syllabus for BA Linguistics Honors? Is it by the college or by NU?
Yeah, Nagaland University has framed and made the syllabus for BA Linguistics, and we will be following it.
All right, so in brief, I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for your question over there. Cruzo Keho, thank you so much for that question. Is there any other question? We'll just wait for like 10 seconds. If you have any questions, quickly unmute yourself, or if you want to add something, or if you want, you can type in a link of your questions. All right. So that's about it from our end then. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this session. At the same time, I would also like to thank our key resource speakers, Miss Wendy and Dr. Bernali, Ms. Nikki as well, who stepped in when Miss Wendy was having some issues with her network. Thank you so much. You guys make an excellent team, and I'm really looking forward to working with you guys as well. Students, I hope you are motivated and inspired to try out these new courses. Life is an adventure. Go on new adventures, and life will be worth living. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us on our email IDs. Our email IDs are displayed on the screen. So thank you so much. That's it from my end. Thank you so much for joining in.